caliber, you just suspect something special every time she steps out in anger.
Now we've got one more event to come. It's the 4x100, which is for women, which is traditional here in Lausanne. But before we see that, let's just have a little look back at the women's 100 metres earlier on, which was a superb race.
Well, it was very special. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, fourth from right in the headband, got out of the blocks like a rocket. The Olympic champion, Thompson-Herah, third to left in the green headband, chasing her down, ran out of track, and the time, spectacular, 10.60, replacing the 23-year-old meeting record of Marion Jones, which was 10.72. And 10.60, well, that's a new personal best for Fraser-Pryce. She was third fastest in history, she still is, but she's closed up a little bit on Flojo's 10.49 and Thompson-Herah's 10.54 from Eugene last Saturday. Steve, these are special days for women's sprinting.
They are, and you know, you've got these three Jamaicans, others who want to try and get closer. Talu just run out of third spot there by Jackson, but you know, I think that the kind of backstory as well of the two of them, of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Elaine Thompson-Herah, you know, how they've their careers have been intertwined, but in no way have they ever kind of been two athletes who've enjoyed each other's journey necessarily. And certainly for Fraser-Pryce, when you look at, you know, how good she's been over the last 2-3 years, 2019 was so good, last year as well, and finishes, well, she hasn't finished this season, but runs another personal best. But Elaine Thompson-Herah won the Olympic title. So sadly, whether it's just because they don't fancy it, or you know, couldn't be persuaded, or from a Jamaican perspective, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a fourth sprinter. They're not in the relay, which would have been lovely to have seen the three of them together plus another.
Well, it's a cool evening, Steve. Why tempt fate? You know, there's more races to come yet.
But we've still got a good race to look forward to. And the middle lanes will be really interesting with the Dutch team. A pretty strong British quartet. In fact, three of the medal-winning quartet are here. And then the Swiss team with Dicha, Del Ponte, Kambunji and Cora. So I think we'll be seeing probably the Dutch will not be quite good enough to hang on to Great Britain and Northern Ireland and the Swiss A team. There's a Swiss B team. And out on the outside, the Austrian team as well. Strametz will lead them off.
Steve, I'll be interested to see how the Swiss A team, though, in lane 4 go with Del Ponte and Kambunji on legs 2 and 3. That's a pretty strong middle pairing.
Well, it is, and you know, we know how strong they have been, and they've switched around a couple of the others on occasion. Cora's again one of the regulars. Dicha's kind of been in and out of the team, but that's a very strong quartet for them. And Ashley Nelson comes in for Great Britain, where Dina Asher-Smith would have been on that leg. Dina, of course, over the injury problems that she had pre-Olympic Games, but not here tonight. So it'll be Asher Phillip, Imani Lancico, who ran in the B race earlier on this evening, Ashley Nelson, and then Daryl Nita, who ran so well in Tokyo and already ran in that 100-meter race you saw just a moment or two ago, where she equaled her personal best, running sub-11 again. So a very strong finish for the British quartet. Team Leah, this is Leah Sprunger's team. Big cheer for them. She'll be running on the last leg for them. As I said, it's part of this farewell tour, if you like. Visser, Van Vliet, Hoenenstein and Sedney. Not the strongest Dutch quartet. But then this British quartet led off by Asher Phillip. Then it'll be Imani Lancico. Then Ashley Nelson coming in on the top bend, then to Daryl Nita. And this, the Swiss team that finished behind Great Britain in the Olympic Games in 4th place. Exactly the same four. Big cheer. Dicha, Del Ponte, Kambunji, and then Cora. Poland, of course, who won a medal in the 4x4, not in the short relay, not renowned for that, but they do have a team here. And then the Swiss B team on the inside. Quintet, Gutschmidt, Gloor, and Reinle. Well, the British quartet with Asher Smith were a couple of tenths ahead of the Swiss at the Olympic Games. Completely different conditions here tonight, of course, and the Swiss have the home crowd advantage. They go in lane 4, Great Britain in lane 5, Netherlands in lane 6. Team Leah with Leah Sprunger on the last leg in lane 7. Last event of the evening, 4x1 relay. Asher Philip completely in tights, keeping herself warm, has started pretty quickly and is running down the Netherlands outside. That's Nadine Visser. It's a good start for Great Britain and a very safe change to Lancico. And the Swiss team have got a little bit of ground to make up here. Marnie Lancico for Great Britain in the lead at the moment, handing to Ashley Nelson. That's a better change. Kambunji with the baton now for Switzerland. It's going to be very, very close on the last leg, because Kambunji might just put the Swiss in the lead. But Daryl Neater's on the last leg for Great Britain and will be chasing Cora all the way. The crowd are cheering on Switzerland, but Daryl Neater is flying for Great Britain. It's going to be very close. Who's going to get it on the line? It's going to be Daryl Neater for Great Britain, as the crowd just heave a sigh of frustration because Cora couldn't quite hang on. I said in the beginning, Great Britain had with Daryl Neater on the last leg the strongest finish, and they gave Cora a great chance there as Leah Sprunger gets a hug from her team, but Cora could not quite hang on. Kambunji ran a superb leg on the third, around the top bend there, but Great Britain 42.44 the winning time, Switzerland 42.47, the Netherlands a little distant with 43.52. Well done, Daryl. Great night's work for her. Personal best equaling performance individually and bringing Great Britain home for the win over Switzerland.
Well, Steve, they had to fight for it, didn't they? The Swiss always punch above their weight, so to speak, don't they, when it comes to relays? They Swiss meetings here in Lausanne and Zurich always conclude with a relay, and they love to get their athletes a run out, an opportunity to excite the home crowd. That so nearly ended up in the fairy tale finish for this packed La Ponte Stadium. They've really enjoyed themselves here. How great to see full stadia becoming the norm in track and field athletics at the end of this 2021 summer, with Paris, of course, coming at us in 48 hours' time, and then Brussels and Zurich will conclude the 2021 Wonder Diamond League season. That was close, 3 100s in it.
Yeah, it was an interesting race, Tim. Lots of love for Team Leah, but I thought Asher Philip got a very, very good, and running in full kit, if you like. But just watch this first change. Oh, sorry, we're not going to see the first change. It's the last one.
It was very safe. You called it right. It wasn't a bad changeover. There's a fine line, isn't there?
Yeah.
Look at that gap behind this pair.
Yeah, well, they were the two best teams, obviously, and that's stood out here when poor Cora, you say poor Cora, I mean, they would love to come away with a win. I mean, it's a tradition here in Lausanne, and we have the relays in Zurich as well. And this meet has often before given teams the chance to qualify for things like the Olympic Games, etc. So interesting for Leah Sprunger. Not quite sure how often she gets to run the final leg of a 4x1, mind you. Asher Philip has taken a while to come and meet her teammates, but she's finally made it. So well done, Great Britain.
Steve, considering the conditions, and Jackie de la Pierre, a wonderful organiser of this meeting for many, many years, the meeting director, deserved better than a cool, breezy evening. But when you think about it, the two performances of the evening, for me, on the women's side, and possibly overall, was that women's 100, 10.60 for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. And on the men's side, I mean, great performances. The men's 3,000 too, of course, 7.33, I think, in these conditions for 7.5 laps was special. On that triple jump from Rojas as well was huge. I mean, 15.56, okay, that was with an illegal win, but her next best was legal.
Allez, on va les s'appeler les uns ou les unes après les autres, avec ceux qui sont ici. On va commencer par, c'est dans le désordre. Les filles Voilà, Eléa qui va nous rejoindre. Elle va revenir tout à l'heure au podium. Viens là. On va les appeler les unes après les autres. On va commencer avec les filles. Come here.